What's the best way to learn hiragana and katakana? I tried some of the most popular ways I could find to answer this question. I have 3 criteria that each method must meet to be the best. It has to be free, it has to be all-inclusive, meaning it provides a way to learn the kana and review them, and lastly, it has to have sound. With those expectations set, let's jump right into it. The first stop on our journey is Tofugu. Tofugu has free PDFs with mnemonics and a space to practice every kana character. Because it's essentially a book, you can go through the kana as fast or as slow as you want. But because it's just a book, it lacks sound for each character and it doesn't have a way to test your knowledge and reinforce what you practiced. So overall, Tofugu is a good resource, but it's missing some key components to be the best source to learn hiragana and katakana. Our next stop is one of the most known Japanese resources, Taikem's Grammar Guide. If you don't know though, Taikem's Grammar Guide is a great free resource for not only hiragana and katakana, but Japanese in general. But for today, we'll just be focusing on how it tackles the kana. Taikem pretty much just gives you a chart with some basic instructions on how to learn it. Just like Tofugu, it doesn't have sound or a way to test yourself. So while it may be a great resource for a lot of things, hiragana and katakana are not one of them. Moving on to Japanese Pod 101. They have a free video on how to learn hiragana and katakana, so that ticks 2 of our boxes by being free and having sound. While it uses mnemonics and repetition to help teach the kana, it still doesn't have a way to test your knowledge. Overall for me, it was a really boring video which made it hard to focus, so I would not recommend this. Now for the behemoth of Japanese learning, Anki. Anki is a great free software that is available for almost every platform except for the iPhone where it costs $24.99, but there are ways to get around that. You can download free decks for hiragana, katakana, and so much more with sounds, pictures, and proper stroke order. It uses spaced repetition to help memorize each kana. It is the first resource to tick all the boxes so far, but there might be something better a little bit down the road. Remember that thing in school where they made you write the same thing over and over again? That's called rote learning. You might think it's a good idea. It's not. While you can learn from using rote learning, your time can be spent doing more productive things than writing the same character over and over. It's free, so it ticks 1 box, but let's move on. I looked into some apps on the App Store, those being the Kana app, Learn Japanese, and Maru Japanese. I liked some things about these apps, especially Maru Japanese, but they all had one glaring issue. Almost all of them provided very little material for free. Hiragana and katakana have so many free resources that it makes no sense to spend money to learn them. So save your money and let's move on to our final resource. While other apps on the App Store had the issue of not being free, there was one set of apps that I really enjoyed and were completely free. While I was on Tofugu reading their article about how to learn hiragana and katakana, they showed some apps called Memory Hint Hiragana and Memory Hint Katakana. So after a quick download, I knew this was the one. It uses mnemonics to teach all the kana, it has sound, and not only does it provide a way for you to test your kana knowledge, it provides 4. This ticks all the boxes and gives a little bit extra, which for me makes it the best way to learn hiragana and katakana. Thank you all for watching. If you're interested in some other Japanese resources that you rarely hear about, check out my last video. I hope everyone has a great day. Bye guys.